I think we ought to address the Nusrat Ghani accusation.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, this is a very important matter because it carries the implication that the Conservative Party is racist against Muslim people, which would be a very, very serious accusation. I'm not a member of the Conservative Party. I absolutely cannot speak for it. I would just say that I think I'm a little bit doubtful about this story. And maybe a couple of bits of evidence the other way around against the idea that the Conservative Party is institutionally racist. Nusrat Ghani is, after all, a Member of Parliament. She was selected as a Conservative for Wealden. Wealden is not a particularly Muslim place. I just looked it up, actually. In terms of colour, the population is 98.3% white. She was one of 21 Conservative Muslim candidates at the last election, of whom 4 were elected. You could say that's quite a small number, given the proportion of the population. And she was, of course, made a minister. But it's quite striking that the Chief Whip has taken the unusual step, not just of denying that he said it, but actually saying that the remarks were defamatory. So it looks like he is prepared to contest this. And, of course, it will, in the end, be one person's word against another.
And that's the point, Paul, isn't it?
Exactly, and the whole thing's very unedifying, actually, to have a member of Parliament and one of the whips for the same party to be having this public spat. I mean, clearly, if a member of Parliament makes an allegation of this seriousness, it has to be investigated. Clearly, it needs to be looked into. I mean, I have to say, I would find it incredible in this day and age if any politician, if any whip, decided that it was appropriate to say, you're going to be edged out of your position because of your faith, because of your Muslimness. So I mean, we can't rush to judgment on these things. Innocent until proven guilty, that's the approach I think we need to take. But I guess there's also the dimension, and you both would know about this. If somebody has lost their job, if somebody feels that they haven't been promoted in the way that their abilities demand, and they're disgruntled, is it ever likely, God forbid, that politicians, call me cynical, would make these sorts of allegations as some kind of revenge for feeling that they've been overlooked?
And of course, that's the problem. Sour grapes in politics is very much evident. But I think, Michael, the problem with this is that it feeds into that narrative that was first started by Theresa May about the nasty party. And of course, the media love that sort of caricature of the Conservative Party.
Yes, I mean, this is what is, I think, pretty disappointing about it, pretty upsetting.
Yeah.
If this happened to Nusrat Ghani, I doubt whether her recollection is exactly right. She's held it in for maybe the best part of 2 years. Yeah. And she's released it now at a time when it can be supremely damaging, which, of course, is not a good word about the state of the Conservative Party. What we've seen, I think, is that there must have been a whips operation. Of course there has been, to shore up support. And we're seeing a reaction to it. At first I thought William Ragg was being rather naive in going to the police. I now think he's being rather sophisticated. Because, of course, he's scaring off the whips. I mean, taking it to the police, for Pete's sake. They're going to have to be very careful what they say in future. But that Nusrat Ghani would want to bring her whole party into terrible disrepute. It does say quite a lot about the state of the party.